We're so thrilled that you joined us today to meet and learn from Jowan Smith. Jowan is a true Cleveland success story. She grew up in Huff, and it was in a program in high school where she was introduced to a Cleveland Clinic physician who emerged to be her mentor. That physician encouraged her to enroll in college. She left after her freshman year to work full-time at a local radio station and then went on to another position where she traveled and worked with record labels. About 10 years later, she returned to Cleveland, decided to return to college to study business. She did so with lots of loans, lots of financial aid, and she earned her degree in 2008. She took a job with Cuyahoga County as a benefits caseworker, and in that position, she was struck by the number of families that she encountered who were grappling with intergenerational poverty. She worked hard to get her daughter into and through college, and she began sharing what she learned in that process with others to help break that cycle of multi-generational poverty. We're proud to say that she pitched her idea, Getting Our Babies to College 101, at our Accelerate competition, which positioned her to leave her job and launch a venture that has helped hundreds of families in their journey to getting their children to college. She returned to Accelerate last year because she couldn't be satisfied with one venture. She had to start another, 1,000 Ties, where she is CEO. Yesterday's lunch speaker, Natalie Leake, identified the most important leadership trait as tenacity, and Jowan Smith has that in abundance. Jowan, thank you for making time to join us today, and we look forward to your words.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Mary Ann. That was a great introduction. I got to get you a new shirt. So I'm Jowan Smith, and as she stated, I entered the Accelerate competition in 2017 with my idea of Getting Our Babies to College 101. And I came up with this idea because as a parent, my daughter wanted to go to college, but I didn't have the income. I'm a single parent, and there were not a lot of resources. She went to a Cleveland public school, and so I took it upon myself to actually teach myself how to find scholarships and how to get her to college. And I was able to do that. And so I knew that I wasn't the only parent that was in that position. And so I decided that, it was only right that I shared the information that I acquired over the time. So I created curriculums to be able to empower parents to find scholarship dollars and make the best decision for their children. One of the things I talk about the most is being honest about yourself and your child and where they are going, and how to put that plan together. I call it an ICP, an individual college plan, because every child is different. So what works for my daughter didn't work for my son. Everybody is different. So my goal was to empower parents to teach them how to make their children's goal possible. And then from that, I was watching the things that were happening with my son and his friends and the different skills that they were missing. And he had to teach himself how to tie a tie on YouTube. And so knowing that there are millions of young men that are growing up in households where there are no men present, I knew that this was a skill that, people needed to learn. So I came up with the idea of the 1,000 Ties event. And at this event, I wanted to bring everyday men in to work with our young men, to teach them life skills, how to tie a tie, how to shake hands, how to communicate properly, with the goal of connecting them so that they can have a mentor to help them through getting through high school and college and whatever else their goals were. And so we had such a huge response from the event that it's actually turned into its own nonprofit that I pitched in the Accelerate competition this year. And so what I saw at the event was we worked with them for a couple of hours and then they left. But there were so many more skills that I knew they needed to learn. So what I did was I created the etiquette program. And in this curriculum will actually be taught at Cleveland Public Library. But in this curriculum, we're going to work on tying a tie, dining etiquette, verbal and nonverbal communication, handshaking, eye contact, grooming and hygiene. And with the hygiene part, we're actually going to be giving them hygiene kits. So that's something we're actually doing now, since we're not able to get in the libraries. We're actually in the community and giving out those kits. dressing for the occasion, the art of networking, social and emotional etiquette. And so these are all skills that our youth need, and they are currently like what they really need right now with everything that's going on. You know, everybody is kind of stuck and they have to find employment. So we have to make sure they have the tools for that employment. How do you prepare for the interview? How do you dress for the interview? How do you even prepare a resume? Even as basic as how to fill out a job application. As a caseworker, I saw adults that didn't even know how to fill out a job application. So I figured if we're going to start somewhere, we have to start at the bones, which is teaching them how to even understand how you go through the process of getting employment or getting into an organization, or, you know, planning for what's next, which could be high school or college. So the skills that we're working on now over the summer, we've been doing the sessions, we're teaching them how to write their signature. So many kids and young people, even adults, don't know how to write in cursive. So I've been doing classes on just teaching the basics of how to write your signature, because that's an important skill to have. So all of these skills are useful in helping them get prepared for whatever their goal might be and how to actually navigate through the pandemic that we're dealing with, because a lot of the young people are having to go to work, but you have to interview and it's super competitive. You have people with bachelor's degrees that can't find a job right now. So they're getting those jobs that the youth would have usually got. So teaching them how to actually get those jobs, how to go on those interviews, giving them the ties and teaching them how to tie the tie so that they can dress for the interview, and then teaching them what to do after the interview. So that's been like the primary focus of my work. Then there's also those students that were considering college, but now due to COVID, a lot of students are unsure if college is the route for them because the employment market is kind of crazy, to be honest. So you have the whole class of 2020 that just graduated from college, and they're kind of having a hard time finding employment. So I've been working with a lot of those young people, helping them to market and brand themselves. And so that session I call Pitch Perfect. And so I actually take the skills that I've learned in the competitions that I've been in, and I teach them how to elevator pitch themselves. So finding the 5 most important qualities about yourself that you can actually get out in a short amount of time to be able to market yourself in the proper way. So that's probably like one of my biggest sessions that I actually do right now, teaching people. And I even do that. I have a lot of adults that call me for the Pitch Perfect, because now a lot of people have been laid off. So they're having to start over. So understanding how to get in this market and be successful is a really big task for a lot of people. So even though my platform is for youth, I would say right now, 30% of my clients are actually adults. So Rachel, could you put up the slide, please? So the programming that we actually offer now, all of my sessions are virtual. People are booking either the 1,000 Ties etiquette workshops, and those cover all the way from the basics of tying a tie to how to properly dine. And with the dining etiquette session, we're actually teaching them formal and informal dining. And with the verbal and nonverbal communication, we're talking about how do you interact when you're at the table. With technology now, proper dining is kind of becoming a joke, but we need to get back to the way that you're supposed to eat dinner. Put your phone away, no technology. So that's kind of one of the things that I stress in those sessions. You know, Instagram will be there once you finish the dinner. So let's put that to the side and let's properly sit down and have this meal. And a lot of people say, well, why are you teaching kids that? When you think about children and parent interaction, we feed off of each other. So if your child knows that you sit at the table and you put the napkin across your lap, then that's something everybody at the table will kind of pick up on that skill. So we want to start with the younger generation and teach them all of these skills so that they can learn to, do things properly, how to interact when we do get the opportunity to be back in public together. How do you interact with those people? How do we move forward since you really can't shake hands now? What are we doing? Are we bumping elbows? We fist bumping? What are we doing here? How do we greet people? Because everything has changed. So we have to adjust the way we interact and we network socially. So that's our primary goal, to teach people how to move forward and not to use this as a crutch to not be able to accomplish a goal. So Rachel, are we doing questions now?
Absolutely. We can move to questions. So again, if you have any questions for Jowan, please put them in the chat box. And let's start with kind of overall with the changes that have happened in the community and really kind of in the world. How is the program being received? Can you share some anecdotes from those you've been working with?
Yeah, I would say my program has actually been more in demand than before. More so the etiquette part, because people are looking at the fact that everything is different. So how do you move forward if we can't go outside, or if, you know, we still have to stay inside? How do we move forward? And a lot of the parents with the upcoming seniors, they're really on edge, because they're seeing, you know, that it's challenging right now for those of us who had seniors in the class of 2020. I had a senior. And so the way the college process is going is totally different. So I've been getting a lot of calls. It's been nonstop from a lot of the seniors from 2020 and the upcoming class, with those parents trying to find out how do they even move forward with the college prep process.
So let's talk a little bit more about 1,000 Ties. Can you say kind of who's eligible, how do they engage with the program, and kind of just talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, so with 1,000 Ties, is actually, we have 4 platforms for the 1,000 Ties. So the 1,000 Ties, we have our mentoring program, and that's actually going to be starting in August. And that will be for young men ages 10 to 16. We're going to do monthly virtual learning exercises. And then a big part of it is community service. So we will be going into the community, whether it's cleaning up or helping at a food bank or something like that. Community service will be a huge part of the mentoring program. And then each young man will be partnered with a mentor. And then that person, we will keep track of the different interactions with them so that we can continue to grow those relationships. So that mentoring program will start next month. Then we have the 1,000 Ties STEM mentoring program, which is partnered with Tri-C. And that was supposed to start this year, but now we're pushing it back because of COVID. And so that program is open to 10 to 16 as well, young men. And they will actually do activities in STEM, and the classes are facilitated by Tri-C professors. So with that, we're hoping to open, you know, their minds to different STEM professions. They'll learn how to build a computer. They're going to learn how to build a mobile app. So they're going to be learning different things in STEM. So that program is for those 10 to 16. And then the actual 1,000 Ties event, that's open for young men ages 6 to 17. And so we'll be doing that again in February. Hopefully we won't have to social distance as much, but the goal is to continue to do that and have that big event. And then there's the etiquette program that runs through the Cleveland Public Library. That's for girls and boys. That one is for ages 6 to 16. And those classes is 2 virtual sessions right now, and they will get a package delivered to them in the mail that has all of the tools available for them to actually get through both of those sessions. So it's a very interactive session.
Can you talk a little bit about how you've been able to sustain the program financially, especially given all that's happening in the economy these days?
So for the program, once I made it a nonprofit, I've actually been getting a lot of donations. So a lot of people have been reaching out. Somebody wrote a story about me about a month ago, and I just started getting all these random donations. So I found out where the story came from. It actually was Shayna Black. She was in the Accelerate this year. And so I was getting all of these donations. So it's been donation based for the most part. A lot of people have been reaching out to find out how they can help. We're still collecting ties. I think at this point, I'm probably at about 15,000 ties. It's ties everywhere. So we're still collecting ties, so we still take those. And then we are in the process of working out an agreement with Walmart. And so with that agreement, we're hoping to be able to offer each youth a button-down shirt, male and female. So that will be a part of the etiquette program. So it's just been a lot of, I guess, people spreading the word about it, and amazing people from the community reaching out, trying to find out how they can help to keep the program, moving.
So you had mentioned a collaboration with Tri-C. Who else do you collaborate with, or who would you like to work with in the future?
Well, we have our Tri-C partnership. I have a partnership with Cleveland Metropolitan School District. I have a partnership with Warrensville Heights School District. I have a partnership with the Cleveland Public Library. I'm hoping for this partnership with Walmart to be major. And CMHA. I have a partnership with CMHA, so that's big. I love working with them. They have a huge access. They have access to a lot of the youth that I want to work with, so that's major. And I'm looking forward to working and partnering with anyone that has access to youth. And I still want to be able to continue to empower parents. So any organization that works with parents that have youth is, who I'm interested in partnering with.
And knowing that collaboration and partnership is so key, what are some steps you've taken to build these really successful partnerships for you?
Well, a lot of the organizations and the companies that I partner with, they see the vision and they see the need and they see the gap where our youth, they really need these skills. Our families need access to these things. So I continue to do my research and bring value to the program. And that maintains our partnerships because I'm able to continue to bring new things to the table. So it's not like they worked with me the one time and it worked and it was okay. But we're continuing to build. Like the Thousand Ties event, it was in one school district. We did Cleveland our first year. Our second year we built, so we're Cleveland and Warrensville. Next year we're going to be on the road with it. So the more we build and add things to it, I think that the partners see that there's value in what we're bringing to the community.
And speaking of partnerships and collaborations, Debbie Pence-Meinberg, who is on the call today, who's the head of America Scores, just said, we work with hundreds of CMSD youth and their families. We should connect. So we will work to get you guys connected afterwards.
I've actually been told a couple of times that I'm supposed to connect with Scores.
Yes, so we will make that happen. So, Jowan, let's talk a little bit about your own journey. You've mentioned a lot about mentorship and the need to support each other. Can you kind of share how you got from where you were to where you are now, and what types of support and mentorship might have you had along the way?
I have multiple mentors, including you. So, but multiple mentors. Al Grimes is like my sounding board. He's actually the one that pushed me to do the Thousand Ties event. I have Margaret from Channel 3 that has come on to become an amazing mentor for a project that's coming out soon. I have multiple mentors. Kyle Long from CMSD, who runs athletics. He actually, because my daughter plays sports, he actually was the one that taught me how to get a student athlete scouted for college. And he continues to be one of my mentors. So I have some amazing mentors, some amazing support. My cousin, Dr. Antoine Moss, that works for NASA, he's always right by my side when I do something. Chris Scott, that was in Accelerate. We kind of mentor each other. So it's been, I don't think I could do this work without them. We got Ronnie Cannon, who's on the call. He's definitely one of my co-partners in a lot of things. He's always at my Thousand Ties events and there for advice and suggestions. So I have, a lot of people that are there. The men from Omega Psi Phi, I have to say that the fraternities are the foundation of my work, because without all of the volunteers that they bring in, I probably couldn't even pull off the event. So I think, mentorships and partnerships and the relationships that I've been able to build over time has continued to let the program grow.
So as you think about the students and the families that you've had a chance to work with, What has been one of the biggest success stories or rewards that you've felt through that work?
Every time I get a call that a child has earned a scholarship or been accepted to their dream school, that's a win for me. And I have right now, the first group of kids that I worked with, they are seniors in college this year. So I've been getting the calls every year when one of them wins the RA position, or when they get a different scholarship or a scholarship renewal, or like those are like the most amazing calls. Or when I get a lot of calls from the Thousand Ties event parents, like the mothers, they love it. I have a mother's workshop at the event, and the mothers group has to be one of the most active groups of people that I've ever seen. Like they always have a different idea of what we can bring to the program. And so those calls are all like, they warm my heart. But recently, I would say my biggest accomplishment is getting my son his full ride scholarship. So that right now is my biggest accomplishment. So it's, I guess I'm 2-4 right now.
So I'm just going to ask you to tell us a little bit more about what your son will be doing.
So my son is a recipient of the 1890 Scholars Program grant at West Virginia State University, which means the USDA will pay for his tuition, his room and board, his books, all of his fees. He will have a paid summer internship with full benefits. And once he graduates, he will have a guaranteed job with the USDA. So he will officially, once he starts college, be an employee of the USDA at the age of 18.
And that is absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations, Jowan, and a testament to the work you do in really helping to, as you say, getting our babies to college.
Yeah.
So let's think about what's next. As you look ahead, as you continue to grow, what's the ultimate vision? What other ideas might be percolating that you are looking to launch in the future?
Okay, well, I'm going to announce it here first since I have not publicly announced it. I'm officially an author. My first book will be coming out. It will be released the first week of August. It's called Zakari Goes to College. And it's about the little boy that goes on a college visit with his uncle and his grandmother. So my goal with the books that I'm going to write is to highlight the everyday person. So in this book, it's a non-traditional family. They're going on a college visit. We talk about car safety in the book. So he's in a car seat. And so I'm trying to highlight on different things that everyday people deal with, the real face of our reality of as I see it. So my book will be coming out. So that's my next big venture. I have a series of books that are actually on the table after this one comes out. But as far as my programming, the Thousand Ties, we are working on some collaborations to take 1,000 ties on the road. And so the goal with that is to hit all of the high poverty rate cities, Chicago, Philly, Baltimore, Boston, and we're going to do the same programming in those cities, partnering with the fraternities. So we'll take speakers, we're going to take all the ties, we're going to go on the road, and we're going to teach kids all over the United States how to tie ties, how to communicate, how to interact with others. We're going to connect them with local mentors. So we're going to continue to grow that program. And the same thing with getting our babies to college. I'm just going to continue to get into different school districts and work with those parents to help them navigate the process, because the process looks different now. So just going to continue to try and grow.
So Jowan, as you think about the experiences that you've had, what advice would you give someone who has that just kind of kernel of an idea and they're not sure how to take action to bring it to life? And you've done that now with these 2 ideas coming out of Accelerate.
I say just do it. People call me all the time and they're like, I don't know how you had the courage. How'd you quit your job? You quit your job. I'm like, yeah, I quit my job. And I don't recommend just go quit your job. I mean, you have to have things in place to be able to do what I did. A lot of people thought I was going crazy, that I lost my mind, but my heart was in helping those families. So I tell people if it keeps you up at night, you need to do it. That's just if it keeps you up at night, you need to do it. If there's a pain point and there's something that's bothering you, don't complain about it. Find a way to fix it.
And finally, as we look to wrap up, for those on the call, for those that we know who are looking to help out, what do you need? How can we support your work?
Well, we're always taking donations. For our etiquette program, there's actually a curriculum book that goes with that. But until we can get the funding for that, we can't, print the book. So right now we're kind of just PowerPoint and everything. So I would like to have everything formally set up. So donations, monetary donations can be made on both websites, 1,000 Ties and Getting Our Babies to College 101. We're always collecting ties, and we need more mentors. We need mentors for our mentoring program. All you have to do is email me your resume. Our mentoring program starts next month. I'm anticipating having a lot of fun activities. I've already been reached out to by a couple of the sports teams because they have different things that they are offering now to nonprofits. So we want to make sure that our young men get the most out of the mentoring program and that they can actually, grow. So we need more mentors to work with our young men.
Well, we will be sure to share your websites in our follow-up email to all the attendees so that everyone can follow up to learn more and support. And Jowan, we are just absolutely thrilled you joined us today to share all of your amazing work. The impact that you've made has just been phenomenal to watch, and we look forward to all that's to come from you and for the youth in our community. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for the support.
And with that, I am going to turn it back to Marianne.
Thanks, Rachel. Jowan, thank you. I am exhausted just listening to you. I don't know how you do all that you do. You talk about courage, and you just wake up with it every day. So you're clearly passionate about what you do, and you have a life that's filled with purpose that's making a difference for so many young people. Thank you.